Hi guys, this is gsno.com and I'm here with the unboxing of the POCO X8 Pro Max. So I've already played with the POCO X8, the Iron Man edition, and this one takes the cake. It's the smartphone with the largest battery on the market, with it not being a rugged phone or a battery phone, because that's expected from a battery phone and a rugged phone. I've heard about phones with 30,000 mAh, 20,000, 10,000, but this one for a mainstream phone has a battery which is larger than some tablets, 8,500 mAh. And it's actually kind of cute with these stripes here. So you can definitely forget about the camera. This is basically a cheap gaming phone. You can even find it for around 400 euros or even less on some markets. Why gaming? Because a Dimensity 9500S processor definitely can handle games. I've seen this CPU before on the Oppo Find X9 Pro. It handled tasks brilliantly, but under heavy load and a long time load didn't resist that well, but this time it's been tuned for proper gaming. So POCO X8 Pro Max here with a 12-bit screen, lots of colors, and let's see what's inside the box. Now, with the current economic situation, you're definitely not getting a charger, although some retailers out there might throw one for you. This is a key used to access the slots. We're not getting a card slot, just so you know. A micro SD, of course. Now the cable goes from USB-C to USB-A. We also have this energy rating sticker here, which also promises 80 hours of battery life. Drop resistant B, ranging from A to E. Ease of repair C, and 1000 battery cycles and IP60 certification. Warranty and quick start guide included, obviously, and even a case makes the cut. Here it is, striped just like the back side. Slightly striped. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Everything is available inside the box. There's something I always struggle with and I always find myself questioning. Isn't the yellow of the brand POCO similar to the yellow of the brand Realme? Now with Realme almost gone from the market, there will be only one with yellow. As far as the handset is concerned, it's quite beefy at 8.2 millimeters in thickness and weighs 218 grams. Now, we have IP68 and IP69K, so it's a rugged, tough phone, dust-tight and water-resistant for high-pressure water jets. You can immerse it up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. It's got an aluminum frame and a glass fiber reinforced plastic back. Now, on the front side, we have a screen which I would say it's quite generous. AMOLED 68 billion colors, 6.83 inches and Gorilla Glass 7i. That's the panel. The promise of up to 3500 nits of brightness in peak, Dolby Vision, HDR10+, all the goodies. Now, one of the things that interests me the most is the CPU here. It's listed as MediaTek Dimensity 9500S, basically a lighter version of the Dimensity 9500, which was tailor-made to fight the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 back in the day, or at least the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5, at least should fight that. With this being a gaming phone, it's no surprise we have LPDDR5X RAM and 256 GB of storage, UFS 4.1. This is the version we have here with 512 actually, and 12 gigs of RAM. So the latest RAM and the latest storage available on the market right now. But of course, the selling point remains the battery, and you're going to see it in a minute. Now, the battery available here is quite impressive at 8,500 mAh, but it's not available, I would say, by itself. The charging is also pretty impressive. This silicon carbon unit is able to charge at 100 watts via wire, and it also delivers 27 watts reverse wire charge. So basically you can connect another phone here via USB-C and charge it as if you had a power bank. We also have bypass charging, so when you're gaming, the machine charges straight out of the outlet and not from the battery. Aside from this color, so we have black, white and blue as the color versions here. On the connectivity front, we have an infrared emitter here at the top side. We're also getting stuff like Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6.0, 5G, GPS dual band, NFC, USB-C 2.0. Stereo speakers, obviously. The cameras are, if I'm being frank, a bit modest. They're not the focus here. So this punch hole is for a 20 megapixel camera, while at the backside a mere dual camera with a 50 megapixel main sensor, this interesting placement of the LED flashes, and a modest 8 megapixel ultra wide camera. The main camera has a generous aperture f1.5, also optical image stabilization, and the camera experience is similar to what you see on most POCOs. So we have documents, we have portrait here, we have photos. There's no telephoto camera, so you're just left with cropping from the main cam. We have video, you can take it up to 4K. Let's see if 4K 60 by the way, and there's a pro mode here for photos and videos. You can do JPEG files or RAW files. You can switch to video like this. You also have a special anti-shake image stabilization option, and I would say that's pretty much it. At the end of the day, the difference between a regular Dimensity 9500 and the version with an S in its name is the fact that you're going to get here improved performance and steady FPSs over a long period of time. That's the idea. They tailor the CPU for gaming, and when you're gaming there will be a special window triggered from the side, a special game turbo menu, which can be, let's see, so I should be able to swipe from here. This is what the game turbo is all about. I can set a performance mode, I can see the frame rate here, I can do a memory cleanup, change my voice, do a timer, do recording, do not disturb, cast, play with brightness, and more things like that. So yeah, that's about it when it comes to gaming, but there's also a special type of cooling, like a sort of liquid cooling. Actually, if I remember correctly, it's a special type of liquid cooling they promise. Liquid cool technology with POCO 3D IceLoop and wild boost optimization. We have symmetrical stereo speakers, 2 microphone array, and just in case you were wondering, the main sensor here is a 50 megapixel Light Fusion 600. Yeah, so as I said before, it feels like a gaming phone, but it doesn't ditch the AI. So if you really want to do some productivity, you can definitely go to the note-taking application, press here and use the power of AI to do rewriting, like you can see here, using Deep Think, trip checklist, speech for annual meeting. And if you also want to use AI for your photos, I just took a quick shot or two here, so you can go here and you can definitely see some suggestions: Ultra HD, beautify exposure, brightness, contrast, lightness, and a few more. Plus watermark if you want to tell everyone that you have a POCO. Aside from that, we also have Gemini available here. You can see its latest features: create image, music, help me learn, boost my day. And of course, if you keep this pressed here at the bottom, you should trigger the circle to search, which recognizes song, translates stuff, and so much more. Now, the interface here is your typical one, I would say HyperOS 3.0, which is kind of similar to iOS 26. Not very sure about how many years of Android's updates you should get. I would say 3 or 4. I mean, once again, not very sure. It's Android 16 for sure in this case, but remains to be seen. In Europe, European Union wants to give us something like 5 or 6 years, but that would be nice. So in the end, it's a gaming phone with lots of AI. I see that it even has Copilot pre-installed. So there's Copilot, there's Gemini, there's Xiaomi's own AI, and I noticed something interesting here. If you swipe down, aside from searching online and between your apps, you also have this AI integrated in the search with questions related to your, I would say, well-functioning. Sleep better, eat better, live better. Now, aside from that, I have to say this interface is growing on me. Just look at these widgets, which are now more aired. They're pretty matte. They're not, I would say, glossy, as is the trend nowadays. They're also not very transparent, even though if you look at the quick settings area, it definitely feels just a bit like iOS 26. Not as much as Oppo or macOS from Honor, but still just a bit. Okay, so, and if you really want a rundown of all the AI features, Xiaomi Hyper AI is here to show you the goods. So this is Gemini, which you already know for sure, and these are some of the other features: writing assistant, AI writing, dynamic wallpaper, creativity assistant, speech recognition, translate conversation, interpreter, and subtitles. Just a few of them. Useful if you're traveling, you want to get to know other people, if you're attending meetings and you want to start your audio recording application like this one here, which as I keep talking, it will be able to record my voice and definitely be able to transcribe and do things like that. Apparently it also needs notifications. Okay, so as I am talking, it should be able to recognize my voice, turn it into text, and keep it for further translation, speaker delimitation, summary, and all that jazz. In a lot of languages, as you can see here, including Uzbek, Hungarian, Portuguese, Romanian, Filipino, and more. That's for productivity. For me, this is a gaming phone. It's not a camera phone. It's a bit of a battery phone with 8500 mAh, and it has a special GPU, Immortalis G925. So if you thought the Oppo Find X9 Pro did fine in games but had a bit of throttling, this one solves some of the drawbacks. We'll be back with a full review pretty soon. In the meantime, let us know in the comments, have we finally reached the era of huge battery phones with small waistlines or not? That's it from us. This is the unboxing of the POCO X8 Pro Max. Goodbye.